How did that fall off? Oh yeah, don't play with me, okay? I know.
I don't know how.
That's okay. But right now, let's get to reading this Malcolm, man. You feel me? So where was we at yesterday? Whew. Did I even remember what page we was on? It says May 19th, 1926, Malcolm born. Okay. So it says, so listen, May 19th, 1925, Malcolm Little, born in Omaha, Nebraska. February 1946. You know what's funny? Is I knew a white man from in the Marine Corps. And he's from Nebraska, and he says that he saw a black person until he went to the Marine Corps. That's crazy, right? Sentenced in Massachusetts in February 1946. Sentenced in Massachusetts to 8 to 10 years imprisonment for burglary, and he served 6.5 years of that. Right, so 1948 to 1949, he converted to Islam. He converted to Islam. It's a conversion to Islam, but we just say convert to Islam. So that's why it kind of had me a little strange saying it. August 1952, paroled from prison. 1953, having renamed himself Malcolm X, he becomes an assistant minister of the Nation of Islam, Temple Number 1, located in Detroit. June 1954, becomes minister of Harlem, New York, Temple. 1959, first trip to the Middle East and Africa. April 1963, confronts Elijah Muhammad about his adultery. December 1963, Elijah Muhammad orders Malcolm to remain silent, allegedly because of his barbed, unauthorized remarks about President Kennedy assassination. Malcolm becomes isolated within his own movement. March 1964, announces founding of Muslim Mosque Incorporated. April to May 1964, his second trip to Africa and the Middle East. June 1964, first public meeting of the Organization of Afro-American Unity. July, November 1964, third trip to Africa. Ooh, July to November. Oh, he was there for a while. February 14, 1965, a firebomb lays waste to Malcolm's house. February 21st, 1965, assassinated in New York City. So he died 1965.
Dad.
So, okay, let's go ahead. So we're going back to part two. Part one, two 1963 speeches. Women are closer to her than that. And this type of Negro usually he hates black and loves white. He doesn't want to be black. He wants to be white. And he'll get on his bended knees and beg you for interrogation or for integration, which means he would rather than live with his own kind who love him. He'll force himself to live in the neighborhoods around white people whom he knows don't mean him any good. And again, I say, this is not his fault. He is sick. And as long as America listens to the sick Negro who is begging to be integrated into American society, despite the fact that the attitude and actions of whites are sufficient proof that he is not wanted, why then you are actually allowing him to force you into a position where you look just as sick as he looks. If someone holds a gun on a white man and makes him embrace me, put his arm around me, this isn't love, nor is it brotherhood. What they are doing is forcing the white man to be a hypocrite, to practice hypocrisy. But if that white man will put his arm around me, willing voluntarily of his own volition, then that's love. That's brotherhood. That's a solution to the problem. So what he was saying is that if you force somebody to be friends with you, they're really not friends with you, right?
Yeah.
If I have to like, I'm gonna beat you up, be my friend, then you're not my friend. So what's good is I just want somebody to be my friend that just want to be my friend, right?
So that's why I asked us.
Mm. Likewise, as long as the government has to get out here and legislate to force Negroes into a white neighborhood or force Negroes into a white school or force Negroes into a white industry and make white people pretend that they go for this, all the government is doing is making white people be hypocrites. And rather than be classified as a bigot by putting a block, the average white person actually would rather put up an hypocritical face, the face of a hypocrite, than to tell the black man, no, you stay over there and let me stay over here. So there's no solution. You know what a hypocrite is?
No.
A hypocrite is a person who says like that they don't do something and then they do it. So like let's say like you say, I don't eat beef, and then I see you eating a hamburger. That makes you a hypocrite. Let's say you laughing at somebody else like, oh my gosh, that person is chewing gum. Ha ha ha. That's so bad. And then you chew gum. That's a hypocrite. You can't say that you don't do something and then really do it, right? It's like lying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hypocrite is not good. As long as you force people to act in a hypocritical way, you will never solve their problem. It has to be the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a solution has to be devised that will be satisfactory, completely satisfactory to the black man, and completely satisfactory to the white man. And the only thing that makes white people completely satisfied and black people completely satisfied when they're in their right mind is when the black man has his own and the white man has his own. You have what you need. We have what we need, then both of us have something. And even the Bible says, God bless the child that has his own. And the poor so called Negro doesn't have his own name, doesn't have his own language, doesn't have his own culture, doesn't have his own history. He doesn't have his own country. He doesn't even have his own mind. And he think that he's black because God cursed him. He's not black because God cursed him. He's black because rather he's cursed because he's out of his mind. He has lost his mind. He has a white mind instead of the type of mind that he should have. So when these so-called Negroes who want integration try and force themselves into the white society, which doesn't solve the problem, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad Mad teaches us that that type of Negro is the one that creates the problem. And the type of white person who creates the problem and the type of white person who perpetuates the problem is the one who poses a liberal and pretends that the Negro should be integrated. As long as he integrates someone else's neighborhood, but all these whites that you see running around here talking about how liberal they are and we believe everybody should have what they want and go where they want and do what they want. As soon as a Negro moves into the white liberal's neighborhood, that white liberal is Well, he moves out faster than a white bigot from Mississippi, Alabama, and from someplace else. So we won't solve the problem listening to that Uncle Tom Negro. And the problem won't be solved listening to that so called white liberal. The only time the problem is going to be solved is when a black man can sit down like a black man and a white man can sit down like a white man and make no excuses whatsoever with each other. This him right here.
Oh, that's yeah.
Who's that?
Malcolm X.
All right, that's enough for today. Take it out.